Mr. Risch, not guilty. Mr. Roberts, not guilty. Mr. Romney.
Nearly 5 months after the start of an impeachment process which has intensified America's divisions, this was the moment the US president was finally cleared.
It is therefore ordered and adjudged that the said Donald John Trump be, and he is hereby, acquitted of the charges in said articles.
As expected, the verdicts were delivered along strictly party political lines. All Democrats voting to convict Trump, all Republicans to acquit him, except for one.
It was a flagrant assault on our electoral rights, our national security, and our fundamental values. Corrupting an election to keep oneself in office is perhaps the most abusive and destructive violation of one's oath of office that I can imagine.
But he was a lone voice among Republicans. They believe the trial will help them defeat the Democrats in November's election.
Right now, this is a political loser for them. They initiated it. They thought this was a great idea. And at least for the short term, it has been a colossal political mistake.
But the Democrats insisted impeaching the president had been the right thing to do.
And I believe the American people will realize that this was one of the largest cover-ups in the history of our nation. I believe the American people will know who stood in the way of truth, who were afraid of the facts, who covered up.
And although the trial itself is over, the arguments which led to it are going to continue. The Democrats still want to hear from the former National Security Advisor, John Bolton, who they believe may have damaging information about the president, while some Republicans are proposing a formal investigation into Hunter Biden, the son of Trump's main political rival, Joe Biden. Trump had his own message for the Democrats. He tweeted an old comedy video of himself winning election after election into infinity. Well, that video was a rare moment of levity in what has been a divisive period in American politics. Trump will make an official statement on Thursday afternoon. He's sure to say that he's been totally exonerated by the Senate. Will he take the opportunity to say it's time for America to heal its divisions and move on together? Well, who knows, but it's not really his style. As for impeachment itself, there are real question marks now over whether it would ever be used again. This was such a partisan process. There was never any question that Trump would be convicted, and many observers are wondering whether there's any point in it ever being used because it's so political rather than legal now that unlike previous impeachments where there was a sense that both sides were carefully considering the merits of the argument, that really didn't happen this time. There's also fear that it could be overused. For example, if the next president is a Democrat, would the Republicans just in principle want to impeach him or her to get revenge? Well, many questions to be mulled over by the lawmakers in the weeks and months ahead.